Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Tony Gonzales. I am from Santa Maria, California. I'm 48 years old, and last year I was diagnosed with mild cognitive impairment. I know this disease can destroy careers, relationships, and every day it robs me more and more of my memories. But I stand here today to tell you that this disease does not define me. It does not define who I am. I'm living up my best life with MCI and using every opportunity to share my story as a way of fighting back. A few years ago, my family and I noticed the first few signs that something was wrong. I found myself having difficulty with my work as a development manager for the American Cancer Society. Others were noticing too. My family, my friends, co-workers and clients, all were making excuses for my actions. Then, one day, I got lost coming home from work. I was in my hometown. I was in my car, and I was on a road that I had traveled thousands of times, and I had no idea where I was. All I knew was I needed to call my wife. I didn't know where I was, I didn't know where I was going. Another turning point was when I was at home with my family. I came in from outside and I saw an open package on the kitchen table that was addressed to me. I was so excited because I'd been waiting for these special American flag socks for my son's upcoming wedding. I reached in and pulled out my new pair of fun socks. Then I excitedly showed them to my family, and they looked at me like my head had blown off. Apparently, just 5 minutes before, I had done the same exact thing. At that time, we thought my forgetfulness was due to being stressed and tired. I spent the next couple of years bouncing from my general practitioner to UCLA and then finally to UCSF. I realize now that my experience was much more complicated due to my age. I was fighting a stigma that dementia affects only people over 65. Despite numerous MRIs, a spinal tap, sleep studies, neuropsych exams, and a CT scan, I was told by medical professionals that I was too young to have dementia. And instead, my symptoms were associated with sleep apnea. Following that diagnosis, I made an effort to get healthier and to eliminate what I had been told was the problem. I lost, to date, over 160 pounds. Unfortunately, my issues still persisted after the weight loss. And I had to go back to seeking an accurate diagnosis. 2 years after my initial symptoms, I finally received one, MCI. I sometimes think about how the process could have been smoother or gotten me the right information without losing so much time. For example, I didn't know at the time of my early symptoms that my grandmother had passed from complications due to dementia. And there were other family members who showed signs, but they were never addressed. You see, in the Hispanic culture that I was raised in, no one understands this disease. The Hispanic culture that I was raised in sees it with shame and secrecy. Also, I live in a beautiful, beautiful part of this state. My hometown of Santa Maria sits between Los Angeles and San Francisco. But in order for me to get the quality of care needed, the newest tests, and be a part of the latest studies, I have to travel to one of these cities. Living with this disease makes it very difficult to travel. And then you throw in the COVID years. Well, I can tell you it has been a very tough couple of years. What a difference it could have made if the tools for an accurate diagnosis had existed closer to home for me. Lastly, I, like many others who are diagnosed with MCI or dementia, was offered little direction about what to do, other than to get our affairs together and in order, and pretty much go live a life of forgetting. I'm so fortunate for my wife and my care partner, Corey. She's a special education teacher. She worked hard to find more for me. She researched brain exercises, changed our diet to a new brain-healthy Mediterranean diet. She set up safe zones in my home for me to retreat to with brain activity exercises like coloring and word finds and puzzles. I joined a neuroboxing class for individuals who are living with Parkinson's and other neurodegenerative diseases. We also started a new exercise routine, and now we're up to 3 miles several times a week. But it's important to remember that not everyone has a Corey. Not everyone lives in a safe and a beautiful place where they can walk and exercise. For those who don't have that access, or the knowledge, or the support, we need to find a way for them to not fall through the cracks, and for them to live their best life in their communities. And I know that's the reason you guys are all here today. And I'm so honored to be able to join you by sharing my story. I hope it inspires you to continue your amazing work. I hope this convention brings you contacts, information, and supports you need to help those diagnosed with dementia so that they can live well in their communities. And lastly, I hope you remember to live for today, to love those around you, and I wish you good brain health. Thank you.